Flow Health and Fitness has 24/7 access, custom-made equipment, and offers something for every age and skill. Flow welcomes everyone. Come experience the spa, massage therapy, float tank therapy, spray tan, and the yoga studio. The monthly gym fee is only $38 for full 24-hour access. For seniors, your insurance may pay for the fee through Silver Sneakers and Renew Active. Whether you need a massage, a facial, a spa treatment, or a place where you can exercise, you need Flow Health and Fitness. Find them on Facebook or call 806-990-7035. Flow Health and Fitness, 812 North Avenue O in Post, Texas.
All right, thank you. That is Russ Morris we just heard, talking about Flow Fitness, one of our three sponsors for this event, which is the 62nd Annual Garza County Junior Livestock Show. Started yesterday, ends today. We didn't stream yesterday, so we'll talk about what happened yesterday in just a little bit. And then today we got a full schedule ahead of us, starting at 9 o'clock, just moments away. Starting out with the heifer show, followed by the steer show, the swine show, the peewee swine show, then the lunch break, at which we will stop the stream, and then come back for the afternoon starting at about 2 o'clock, and we'll restart the stream then. Jim Plummer here, Russ Morris. Let's go ahead and look at what happened yesterday at the 62nd Annual Garza County Junior Livestock Association show.
So yesterday it was the rabbits and the Pee-wee Rabbit show, and also the showmanship classes. So let's take a look at the showmanship classes first. In the swine show, your senior showmanship winner was Reese Huffacre. Your junior showmanship award winner was Oakley Strawn Cash. For your steers, your senior showmanship winner was Caleb Jones. Your junior showmanship went to Kai Baker. For your rabbits, the senior showmanship went to Quinn Corley, and the junior went to Sophia Hollis. For the lambs, Asher Ellie, forgive me for last names, he or she got the senior showmanship for the lamb, and the junior went to Rylan Morris. Now for your goats, Rachel Arthur took home the senior showmanship, and Aaron Brooks took home the junior showmanship. And as far as the rabbit results, we do have a grand champion that came from the rabbits yesterday. Grand champion went to Zachary Gatos, and reserve grand went to Quinn Corley. So congratulations. The grand champion belt buckle was awarded by Texas Farm Bureau, and the reserve grand champion buckle was awarded by HF&C Feeds.
All right, speaking of Farm Bureau, Ron Francis is here. As you may know, Ron used to have an office here. Now I think he's out of Lynn County. But he's here always with his camera to take good photos, which he posts, I think, free of charge on his Facebook page.
I believe so.
So look up Ron Francis Photography, I believe it is, to see the pictures from yesterday and today. So once again, we'll start off with the heifer show starting about 9 o'clock. We're just waiting to hear from the announcer, at which that wasn't the announcer. That was what was that? A sheep?
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't get confused between the two. But looking for a really good time here today. And I want to just review one of our sponsors that we have for this week, or this show. New this year, we got Smokin' Dick's Barbecue and Flow Health and Fitness. And finally, Buffalo Creek Threads. You'll be hearing about them throughout the broadcast today. So be sure to thank them when you see those owners for sponsoring the broadcast, and also the 2026 Garza County Junior Livestock Show.
Want to recognize a few people real quick before we get going. Congratulations to our graduating seniors of 2026 for both Post and Southland ISD. Your three seniors for Post ISD are Reese Huffacre, Rylan Morris, and Cody Osborne. And over at Southland, Audrey Lee is the lone senior showing this year for Southland ISD. And also, we want to take a moment and recognize the people that are in charge of putting this event together. It is the 25-26 officers for the GCJLA, which is your Garza County Junior Livestock Association. Augie Menchaca, your president. Matt Dorsett, the vice president. Recording secretary is Patrick Carroll. Past president is Will Osborne. Your corresponding secretary is Crystal Osborne. And your three members at large are Joel Basinger, Orrin Brooks, and Rick Tadlock. Your stock show superintendents for your swine, lambs, and goats is Nancy Morris. Your heifers and steers are Tanya Gilliland. And your superintendents for your rabbits yesterday was Dania Peterson. And your three advisors, Gary Gilliland is the post-high school ag instructor. Brad Gatos is the Southland School Ag instructor, and Daniel Peterson is the Garza County Extension agent.
I think each of them is here today.
I believe so, and I
Which
think
they
all
should
we're
be.
doing is just waiting on the judge to get here.
Okay.
And
So-
I think when the judge is here, we can get the opening ceremonies up and running.
Well, last night Russ and I, along with Carter Petty, were at Abernathy broadcasting a couple of basketball games, which Post lost both of them, but boy, it was an exciting men's game until, halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, we just ran out of gas, literally.
Yeah, you can tell.
Ran out of gas.
Playing really good, just, shooting-wise, lost that accuracy due to not having the gas and losing your legs and whatnot. It's kind of tough.
Oh, yeah. But it's very evident that you'll be able to that this team is night and day different from what they looked like last year, and you can clearly tell that the future is bright moving forward for them.
So really the girls are 2 games ahead of the guys. So the guys are having their 4th game, and the girls are 6th game on Tuesday, and we'll bring that to you here on Post Sports Radio's YouTube page, starting at about 6 o'clock. We say always about because it all depends on how that JV game goes before it. We do try to get on close to 6. So if you go to join it and we're not there, just be sure to check back in 5 minutes or so, and we should be there. We also try to post on Facebook if we're running late and give you an approximate time when we should go on. But it doesn't happen too often that we're too late.
I just want to say that your stock show judge for today is Brad Bevel. Your announcer that you'll hear on a microphone coming from the PA microphone, that is your high school principal, Peyton Patterson. On Thursday, your sale auctioneer will be Stan Young. So Thursday night at 6 o'clock in the Post High School. Well, I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be this year. It's changed from the cafeteria to the Commons
I
last
just put
couple
that
of years.
graphic up there.
There
Russ.
it is. So at the Post, so at the high school, so more than likely it's going to take place in the Commons. Thursday, January 15th is the buyer's meal and sale.
This morning, welcome to the 62nd annual Garza County Junior Stock Show. We have Zach Gatos that's going to lead us in the pledges, and Audrey Lee that's going to lead us in prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, one and indivisible.
Dear God, we prepare for the Garza County Livestock Show. We ask for your guidance and protection. Calm our nerves and smooth our anxieties. Help us remember why we started selling livestock in the first place. For the love of the animal and the joy of education and the sense of community. Shield us from the negativity of spiritual minds. Give us the strength to rise above the drama and focus on our passions. Bless our animals, our families, and our friendships. May our time at the Garza County Livestock Show be filled with joy, learning, and growth. Remind us that the true success isn't measured by ribbons or trophies, but by the character we build. The lessons we learn and the privilege we pray for a safe, successful, and enjoyable life. In His name we pray. Amen.
Okay, this morning we are joined by our judge, Brad Bevel. He is from Stanford. He taught ag for 30 years and is recently retired. And his box boy is a pharmacist there in Stanford. And both kids are recent and graduates. Let's welcome Brad Bevel.
Okay, so on your screen, we're starting with the heifers.
Heifers, we need all heifers to the ring.
Showing the lone heifer is Annie Basinger. So there's only one heifer being shown today.
Our lone exhibitor is Andy Basinger.
So she'll take home first place in her class. Grand Prix champion and Grand Champion.
We know that already, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Our judge is very casual with a cup of coffee in hand.
Oh yeah, it's very common for this show. Well, when you get to shows like over in Fort Worth or Houston, especially, it's more buttoned up. You'll see them in jeans and boots and a suit jacket and a felt hat and be all official.
All right, here we go.
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, and got a good, cool morning, cool day to kind of work with, and I think that's a good thing. It is January, and so here we go. We've got an awfully good heifer here to lead off our show this morning, and a single entry, but a very nice kind of main type heifer that has got great lines. If you study her and off to the side there, you look at her rib and her body, and just the design and shape that she's got to her cage. Up through her front end, and she's neat, she's feminine, and I think her head and neck, fit together, and they fit together very well with her type and kind. She's one that's long and level in her hip. She's got some natural thickness and muscle. When you get behind her, you see her end set there. I think she's got some natural carry that ties in down low. Feet and legs, I think, are plenty good in terms of having enough bone, but not being coarse or any of those kind of things. So that's a nice thing and a good way to lead off our show. Let's congratulate her.
So once again, congratulations to Annie Basinger. She is your Grand Champion heifer, and the buckle is awarded by Texas Farm Bureau.
We just want to congratulate Andy Basinger for her Grand Champion American heifer.
So next we're moving on to the steer show. There are 6 steers and there are 4 classes. There are 3
This time,
breeds
we're
though.
calling all American breed steers to the ring.
So the lone American breed steer is being shown by Aubrey Menchaca. Again, also in the ring is your steer superintendent, Tanya Gilliland. Yeah, Aubrey's doing she did a good job of just moving the steer around and calming it down and making sure it doesn't get too spooked, because this is the first time the steer is making an appearance in front of hundreds of people before it'll go off to Fort Worth or San Antonio or Houston or wherever its next destination is.
This morning, we've got a good American that we're bringing in, and young lady's got one that's nice kind of calf. I think one off to the side. I think he's proportional. He balances up well. He's boxy. He's not a great big one. He's going to be kind of fit that lightweight deal as he moves down the road. But I think one that reads in terms of having shape, and he's got a good handle over the top side. I think he's got enough condition there and that weight kind of where he's at. And I still think he maintains some integrity up front. You study through his chest and his brisket there, and he's got some cover, some condition, but at the same time, he's got a good handle and he's got good turn and roll with his top side. It's a really nice kind of cast. Square pin, good bone, good deal, and he kind of gets him dialed up and dressed up the road. So let's give her a round of applause. Champion America.
So with Aubrey Menchaca showing the only American breed, she will take home first in her class and also Grand Prix champion.
Congratulations to Aubrey Menchaca for her breed champion American steer. At this time, we'll call the English steers to the ring.
So coming to the ring now are the English steers. There is one class of English steers. There are two exhibitors, Kai Baker and Cameron Menchaca. So not only will they be showing for first and second in their class, they'll also be showing for Grand and Reserve breed champion as well.
We have Kai Baker and Cameron Menchaca.
Kai Baker showing the lighter weighted steer at 1,205 pounds, and Cameron Menchaca showing his, the heavier weight, at 1,295 pounds. Cameron, he's using his show stick as it's more just like a guide. So there's a hook that's on the end of that steer that you can pull its hind legs forward to get it profiled the way it's set up. And also you can use the curve of that hook and use it as a massage tool to rub its belly to calm itself down a little bit as well.
I guess all animals like belly rubs.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
My dogs are crazy about them.
But the thing about steers, though, when you get them and you get them early, you have to work with them constantly all the time to get them acclimated to you so they can be calm in the ring and make them easier to work with and so on and so forth. Because the more you work with them, you'll see little kids in like third grade, and because of how often they work with them, they can easily lead a 1,400-pound steer around.
Can you get them to roll over and lay on their backs and scratch their belly easier?
I doubt it.
No? Okay.
Congratulations to Kai Baker. He is your class champion for your English steer. I believe he's also the Grand Prix champion. Cameron Menchaca will take home second place in his class and reserve breed champion.
Congratulations to Kai Baker for breed champion and Cameron Menchaca for reserve breed champion. We now call all exotic, lightweight steers to the ring.
So up next is the final breed, final breed of steer. There's one class in the lightweight exotics, and making another appearance to the ring is Annie Basinger, bringing her lightweight exotic steer to the ring. And by lightweight steer, I do mean lightweight steer. Her steer weighs in at 942 pounds. Because she's the only one in her class, she will get class champion, but then she will have to return back to the ring following the heavyweight exotic class to go up against the class champion in that class for the Grand Prix champion. You'll hear me say that a lot today.
That's okay.
Remind everybody, the Grand Champion belt buckle is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau, and the Reserve Grand Champion buckle is sponsored by Day Cattle.
Single entry here in the first class exotics, and they're really neat looking and real, pattern and color and design in this one. I think we're all very good. And starting to get pretty fuzzy and kind of neat look. And I think one that still is useful in all of the areas that we study from the surface up, get off to the side, the sprout side, the top of the shoulder with a neat neck, and just kind of neat front end, still maintains enough integrity there in terms of being smooth enough, still getting old enough, and his handle up high, gives you enough turn and some shape and roll there. Certainly is still green at in the upper nines or maybe 1,000 pound kind of deal, but a very good design. His flank sets out right relative to his finish and plate, but that's an awful good kind of head. I think she's got a chance to do some things with him down the road. So let's give her a round of applause. Class 1.
Once again, congratulations to Annie Basinger on taking home class champion for her exotic lightweight steer.
All exotic, heavyweight steers to the ring.
Up next is the heavyweight exotic class with Caleb Jones and Cameron Menchaca. Cameron Menchaca showing the lighter colored calf, weighing in at 1,360 pounds. Caleb Jones showing the redder colored calf at 1,290 pounds. Also, while I have the chance, want to also give a shout out to the sponsors for the showmanship buckles. The Menchaca family is a sponsor for the junior showmanship,
Caleb Jones and Cameron Menchaca.
and the Gilliland family is the sponsor for the steer senior showmanship buckle. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's Macy Gilliland out there in the ring helping her mama.
She is, yeah. So she was showing a lot last year as her senior year. Speaking of seniors, you mentioned them earlier, and Ryland Morris's mom was up talking to us earlier. Christy, right?
Yes.
And she said that her and her husband Chuck are getting a raise once they get out of the stock show business.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Again, the class champion of the exotic heavyweights will remain in the ring, and they'll await Annie Basinger to bring her calf back, and that's when we will show for the breed champion of the exotic steers, and then the reserve champion steer will be awarded right shortly after.
Good pair here as we turn the page over in weight and size and max. And I think we got a good pair. The next steer here on the end is a good pattern, good milk one. It's smooth as it looks. Get off the side of it. I think the lines are good. He reads with bone down at the surface, but he reads with some angle to his front. He's sound in that regard. But he's one that when you get behind him, I think he's smooth. He gives you enough thickness on the top side of it. He's got enough handle there. He's got some turn and some edge maybe to it. He's not maybe quite as powerful as his contemporary here, but I think he's one that in terms of finish, his handle over his rib, over his last 2 or 3, he's in a good place there in terms of maintaining and getting a good start in terms of coverage. He's not overly done by any means, and certainly I think we're probably not going to limit his ego tank there either, but not very good calf. The yellow one here on the end, really a stout feature one. One I think is your initial impression about these yellow ones like this, you think, well, you're going to get some shape and muscle. He certainly provides that. He's a raw ended, big back one that's got great shape and turn. Really starts with the shoulder blade and arms back. But at the same time, he's got a good handle turn and some softness and feel and cover that works all the way back and smooth. But yet I think he maintains some integrity up to his wrist. He's clean enough. He's elevated enough there. Still maintaining his look up front. He too has got really good bone. He's got a good comfort level down at the surface. And as broad and stout as he is from behind, I think he's still kind of maintaining his angles in terms of coming out of the skeleton down to the ground and kind of keeping his hop in check. It's a very, very good steer to right here. So 2 good ones here. I like the yellow one here to be your class winner. Let's get both these guys around the balls in there.
Congratulations to Cameron Menchaca. He is your class champion of the exotic heavyweights. So now entering the ring will be Annie Basinger in her exotic lightweight. And now we will have the show for Grand and Reserve breed of the exotics.
Let's put our hands together for your exhibitors here in your exotic division. Good group, and we got to get all three together out here. It needed to break that class. Definitely a natural break there in terms of weight and where they're at. And so I thought that was a good call on your administrative side. But I think we got a good group to sort through here. And as we make the comparisons there, obviously I think we've got one in here that's an example of boys who just build, design, kind of checks all the boxes. And you can see when he gets dialed in and he kind of put that final deal on him in the month of February. I think he can look very, very good. Congratulations, Andrew.
Cameron Menchaca taking home Grand Breed champion.
We got a pair. We got one that's a shot ringer that's got really kind of high-end pieces when we get off the side of that one, and so there's a little bit of a give and a roll there in terms of where we're going to be. Is that we're going to feed good and kind of get to where we need to be? Because I like a lot of things about that one. I've got one that's probably maybe a little closer to being done and ready or whatever. And I think that one's got a good body and a good gauge, and he's I think a pretty good spot in the reserve. Congratulations.
And that's Caleb Jones taking home Reserve Breed champion. So now we get all breed champions coming back to the ring, and they'll all go for Grand and Reserve.
To our breed champion for the exotic breed, Cameron Menchaca, and our reserve champion, Caleb Jones. At this time, we'll call all breed champions to the ring.
Yep, so all breed champions will return to the ring, and this is where you get your grand champion and your reserve champion steer. So first that you'll see enter first is Aubrey Menchaca with her grand champion American breed. And follow next is Kai Baker with his grand champion English. And then Cameron Menchaca with his grand champion Exotic. And Jim, for the steers, they've made it real easy to understand the breeds. ABC, that's American breed calf.
You can make it easier for us to understand, right?
Oh, yeah. If only it was this easier to understand roster changes for basketball season.
Yeah, it's always a it's a never-ending question. Who's on the roster? You get a roster from a coach 2 days before the game, and we go to the game, and there's one or two guys on the court that are not on the roster.
I believe the judge has made his decision.
Well, here we are, and we kind of come down the last field with the Steers, and if you would, let's put our hands together for your exhibitors this morning. That's number 8, or whatever the number is, but good quality, and kids done a nice job, but I thought the quality was good of the cattle, and anytime you get into the county show setting, there are different stages a lot of times. You've got different rates in ages and sizes and so forth, maturity pattern, and so it is what it is. You just try to find the best ones and try to find the ones that are, maybe have the highest ceiling and maybe the closest to reaching their end point and doing it with all the things that we need to be important in this arena. And I think those things are, design and build and muscularity and shape and kind of being market ready and kind of being trendy in terms of where we think they kind of need to be. And a lot of times that has to do with how big they are or how much look they've got or whatever the case is. And so, anyway, regardless, none of that matters to me as much as I think you just try to find the best. And I think as we work through these things here, we like the American. We talked to him in the class. I thought that was a good kind of lightweight deal, epoxy, and we got a chance to do some things when we kind of get styled up, and we like that when we did. Talked about our English side, the Hereford. I thought that was a nice steer. Had some shape, had some turn up high, it's in a good spot, soft enough, some condition, but still maintaining his look and balance. And when you kind of there's a spot place there where that one gets styled in, he looks really, really good. And of course, we talked about orthotics, and particularly this guy, just working his stoutness and feature and all of the things he has, but still unique in terms of having a great look up front, but having a slope to his shoulder, his feet and legs kind of laying there correctly. He's really good behind his blade, yet still has a good soft handle and feel to it. You get your hands on him and kind of work back over his cage, don't walk the edge of his point there. So a really good steer, good bone, good head, and we kind of get him parked in place here, and we'll get us a decision made here in just a second.
Take a break after we announce the winner.
There's your champion.
Congratulations to Cameron Menchaca as he takes home he's your grand champion steer. And that buckle is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. So now into the ring is Caleb Jones. He was your reserve champion from the Exotics, and he will go against the Grand Breeds, and this is where we will determine your reserve grand champion steer. Following the steer show, we will move on to the pig show. And walking the steer around and getting it settled down and calmed down. You'll see more movement with lambs and goats when we get to that point later on. This afternoon, you'll actually see them walk more around the ring, and it'll be a much faster pace.
Bring our second in, or excuse me, the reserve, Exotic, he comes in again, another, we talked there, his balance and his squareness, I think very good. He's got a good silhouette off to the side. He's getting stout in his body and shape. The body shape, I think, is good, but his flank and his line, I think, is really good. Nice steer. He doesn't have quite as much back shape and turn. He's not as broad and high, maybe is what your initial impression might be. He's a good pin set from behind, I think, and he's got, adequate turn to his side and his quarter when you get behind him, but I think a nice kind of can. I think if we compare him to the others here, I think there's another one probably that does have more shape. He's got more turn up high. I think he's got a good finish to him. He's got a good feel to him. And so it kind of be interesting to see where he kind of gets lined up in his breed division. But help me join me if you would, and congratulate the young man for her for being reserved.
Congratulations to Kai Baker with his Hereford calf. He takes home the Reserve Grand Champion Steer Award, and that belt buckle is sponsored by Day Cattle. So Cameron Menchaca with his heavyweight Exotic is your Grand Champion of the steers. Once again, that's Kai Baker with his Hereford calf from the English class, taking home Reserve Grand Champion.
So, Russ, the swines are next. We will take a quick break here to recognize our sponsors, who we dearly appreciate. We'll be right back for the continuation of the 2026 Garza County Junior Livestock Show. Yeah, we thank all of our sponsors like Buffalo Creek Threads, which is a fresh, fun lifestyle boutique for women, modern women, comfortable, casual style that you will love. Buffalo Creek Threads is a West Texas lifestyle boutique for the modern woman. They cater to women of all ages and stages of life. Whether you are a mom or a grand or a student or a professional, Buffalo has a style just for you. They feature tops and tees, bottoms, jeans, shorts, skirts, dresses, rompers, outerwear, plus sizes, consuela, fun little extras, gift cards, and a whole lot more. You can shop at the store on historic Main Street in Post, Texas, as well as on the road or shopping the website at buffalocreekthreads.com. They're located at 218 East Main Street in Post. Phone number to call is 806-549-3598. Jim Plummer here with Russ Morris for the 2026 Garza County Junior Livestock Show. And we just finished up, Russ, with the steers. You want to revamp what happened there?
So to recap, Cameron Menchaca with his heavyweight exotic steer took home a grand champion overall. And then Kai Baker with his with his Hereford calf took home reserve champion overall. So congratulations to those two. The grand champion buckle is awarded by Texas Farm Bureau. The reserve grand champion buckle is sponsored by Day Cattle. And as I look back, also want to recap what happened on Thursday.
Sure.
On
Yesterday,
Friday. On Friday. So your grand champion rabbit was awarded to Zachary Gatos, and your reserve grand champion rabbit was awarded to Quinn Corley. Grand champion rabbit buckle was sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau, and the reserve grand champion buckle was sponsored by HF&C Feeds. The junior showmanship rabbit was sponsored by HF&C Feeds, and the senior showmanship rabbit is sponsored by Odin Farms. Just to recap, the grand champion heifer from earlier, that went to Annie Basinger with her lone heifer that she showed. She's the only heifer. And that belt buckle was sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. The junior showmanship steer sponsored by the Menchaca family. The senior showmanship steer sponsored by the Gilliland family. Now that we will move on to pigs, your senior showmanship swine is sponsored by the Carroll family, and the junior showmanship swine is sponsored by R&H Custom Works. So moving on to your pigs, your first class of Durocs is going to contain Caden Wisenhunt, Daniel Carroll, Oakley Strawn Cash, and David Gomez. As you see on your screen, this is the schedule of today's events. We'll have the swine show, then after the awarding of the grand and reserve champion pig, we'll move on to the Pee Wee Pig show, then we'll break for lunch. And we believe we should resume right around 2 o'clock, but traditionally, Jim, it's whenever the judge gets done with his lunch break.
As you were explaining, whenever the judge is ready, everybody else needs to be ready. It's a good turnout today. There's people coming and going, depending on whether they've got somebody showing or not, or when they're showing. I want to invite you to join us on Tuesday. We'll be streaming live from Post Antelope Arena for a basketball doubleheader against Rawls. Should be a good night for the Lady Lopes and the Antelopes. So come on out, or if not, you can catch it on Post Sports Radio's YouTube channel. It'll be Russ Morris, who you're listening to, Carter Petty, and then I'll be shooting the camera.
All right, so coming out first in the holding pen is your Durocs. There are only 4 pigs in this class. The weight total for the pigs in this class.
Showing the drop class, we have Caden Wisenhunt, Daniel Carroll, Oakley Strawn Cash, and Davey Gomez.
The lightest weight Duroc in this class is at 142 pounds. The heaviest weight Duroc in this class is 230 pounds. So it's a drastic weight difference from what you just saw earlier this morning. And this was where I cut my teeth. I showed pigs for years up until my senior year. And mainly what you're doing with that stick, with the show stick, you mainly want to use it as a guide. You want to put that stick in front of its eyes to tell you which direction you want it to go. And what you're seeing, if you look at Daniel Carroll, he's getting that stick up under the chin of the pig. You raise its head up, that way you can profile its body more as you cross in front of the judge. That way the judge has a better idea of what the pig actually looks like when it's profiled correctly.
Daniel's one with the pink shirt on. You may remember his name during football season. It was all-district defense, right?
Oh, yeah.
Going to be a senior next year.
At this time, we'll call the lightweight hands to the holding pen.
Shocked. All of these pigs, Jim, these are what you call barrows. These are male pigs. Shocked that there's not a single gilt or a female pig in this class. I believe our judge has made his decision. So the top two in this class will also be Grand and Reserve Breed champion.
A good class here, and just going to kind of talk individually, and then we'll get them sorted. But we got, I think, 4 kind of different types, maybe, and I like a lot of things about each one of them. The one over here with the green shirt's got one that he's got a neat look. He's small shouldered. He's got some range of motion. His long neck. He gives you some shape and some turn up high. You like this one when you get off the side of it. It gives you some center body, and he's got a good pin set. Maybe, I don't know how genuine he is right at the surface. He kind of wants to maybe bump in just a little bit, hawk to the ground, make sure that the times can kind of go along shirt. He's got one that's got a good proportional look to the side. That one's got a big platform. He's got a bit of user friendly hind leg with some hip. He gives you some shape. Take up quite as fresh at the top side of the shoulder. As with maybe some of the others. So he's a little green in that regard. That's fine with me on the red deal. But I think that's the young lady kind of gets this one going here. He's kind of had a bad day in the office. But that one is a good looking one from the side. It's got, of course, he's mounted. It's got a good square upper heel. Got great shape up high. That one runs uphill and it's got an equal look. Our question with him is rear leg. We like to stop his feature down toward the ground from the top to the surface. He kind of comes in and camps in a little bit more. Kind of wants to come toward his midline just a little bit. So, but I think that's a nice thing. I'd like to want to win here, the young man over here in the green. Congratulations to him. Class winner, or whatever we got here. Nice things there. From there, I'm going to use the young lady on the far side. I think she's got the one that just goes giving you shape and turn and goes ready to the top side of the skeleton. I like that along the tail, but a neat pig. And so I don't think that takes away from it at all. The gentleman here with the maroon shirt here, Snoopy 441, he's going to be third in this setting. That's an intriguing individual. Look forward to seeing him move down the road. I think that would be very, very good for that young man. The gentleman's going to round out our group right here with the pink shirt. Congratulations to all of us.
So Oakley Strong Cash will take home class champion and Bree champion Duroc. Davey Gomez will take home second place and reserve Bree champion Duroc. Caden Wisenhunt will take home third. And Daniel Carroll takes home fourth.
Congratulations for our drop class. Our green champion was Oakley Strong Cash, and our reserve green champion was Davey Gomez.
Up next is the first of our two classes of our Hampshire pigs. We'll start with the lightweight class. There are 3 pigs in this class. Daniel Carroll will return to the ring with his lightweight hamp, followed by Thomas Gomez and Reese Huffaker. Speaking of, Daniel's the first one to enter the ring. He has the heaviest.
Our hamp lightweight exhibitors are Thomas Gomez, Reese Huffaker, and Daniel Carroll.
He has the heaviest pig in this class at 214 pounds. Thomas Gomez has the lightest pig in this class at 180 pounds. Knowing, Jim, how much Daniel lifts in the gym, he could probably carry that pig and just be fine with it.
No doubt. Does he power lift?
Maybe, but he's not doing it today.
No, he's not.
He's not doing it
Picks up
today.
that pig.
We want to shout out our powerlifters. They had their first powerlifting meet today over at Brownfield, according to Carter Petty, who told us yesterday before we got on there for basketball. We were informed that they were leaving at 5 o'clock this morning to head on over to Brownfield.
Long day.
You can catch them a little closer to home next week on the 17th as they head on over to Friendship for the Friendship Tiger Invitational, actually on the 24th. Now, there are possible meets that could be scheduled because the next powerlifting meet on the schedule is February 7th. And that's the Levelland Lobo Invitational. And then there's a big gap all the way for about a month on the schedule to March 7th, which is the girls' regional meet. So there could be some possible meets scheduled. I would be shocked if we don't host a powerlifting meet between February 7th and March 7th.
Yeah, considering last year we had 4 of them here. 3 of which we streamed for you. It's our first time to do that, powerlifting.
But I know Daniel did it last year. I believe we saw him lift last year in powerlifting.
Yeah.
So.
And do consider the boys' regional meet will be in post.
This time, we'll call the heavyweight hands to the holding pin.
And we're lucky we got that because the assistant, or one of the powerlifting coaches, Jacob Perez, he's the regional powerlifting coordinator. The regional powerlifting meet the last couple years was held at Brownfield because him being the regional director. So now we hire him onto the staff for football season this year, and we get the regional powerlifting meet.
Shazam.
You can tell Reese has had plenty of experience, you know, not only with her being a senior, but look how controlled she's got her Hampshire in the ring. She just got class champion. Congratulations.
Class here. Again, I think we got 3 good individuals. The quality, I think, is good in this setting. And just talking individually, the one we lead off with, I think, is the one that probably just does a little more. And when you get on the side of it, you look at some proportions. I think this one's upper hip, his length of hip is maybe a shot better. He's got really good running gear in terms of having a big snout, hind leg. He's got a big front arm. Maybe change him a little bit there. Right down at the surface, we like to make just a snap or ankle or just a shot for strength and stature right there. That's a very good looking one. Length of hip, length of front, length of body, I think match up and make him the most ideal. Still has to grow and it doesn't look like he can get there and reach his end point. Get over the top side of him, he's shaky, he's crisp down his edge. He's really good through this middle portion of his groin as he ties back into his ham. His forearm and right on the top side of his shoulder there, he's still a little bit immature. He's just a little bit plainer, flatter right there. But that's a very good gig. Congratulations to this young lady, well represented. The one here in second, I thought was very similar. Love this thing's hip and hind leg. He's got a big burly rear leg, and he's got a good pin set from behind. And as we stand off the side, we love his bone and his really on either end. His upper hip is a nickel short. He just rocks forward in terms of where his head's at. We'd like to just stretch and lengthen that upper lung some. He's a shot more moderate than the one we just described, but he's got some similar pieces to big. He's shapely, he's crisp. Probably gives us a little more punch coming out of the top side of his blade. He's a little more close to the top of his cavity than he is down in the lower portion of his rib. I love his turn to the center body coming out of his forearm there. Just like cracking on the shot bar at the top. But again, I think that thing's got a place and certainly going to find a better backdrop down the road. He's moderate. He's going to kind of fit into maybe one of those wider end deals as he moves forward. Very, very good big. Congratulations to him. The one in third over here is one that's another good silhouette and just tall-shouldered and dead-legged. You get off to the side of him, and I think you appreciate that about him. I think that's what makes him stand in a close placing here in a tough class. This one, he's got him buffed up and he's got great turn to his top side. I think you should just analyze him individually though. He's of the trio, he's probably the most upright in his front shoulder. He's the plainest in his front arm relative to his contemporaries here. I think he's adequate when you get right behind him and you study his feature top to the ground. I think he's got enough bone and feature there. I think as he continues to mature and spread, he needs just to have just a little more reach and drive as we watch him get out and go. Let's give these guys a big round of applause as well.
So congratulations to Reese Huffaker. She takes home class champion for her lightweight hamp, followed by Thomas Gomez in second, Daniel Carroll in third. And now she'll reappear. She'll also enter the ring first.
Congratulations to our hamp lightweight class. First place, Reese Huffaker, and second place, Thomas Gomez.
She'll show now with her heavyweight Hampshire at 200, with her pig weighing in at 231 pounds. And Zachary Gatos will show his heavyweight hamp at 200, with his pig weighing in at 251 pounds.
Showing in our hamp heavyweight class, we
Up next, we'll have the breed champion with the following the conclusion of the awarding of the class champion. And then as soon as we award the Grand Hampshire breed pig, we will move on to the Poland's. We're moving right along with this pig show. Want to give a shout out to our two buckle sponsors. The Grand Champion Swine buckle sponsor is Texas Farm Bureau, and the Reserve Grand Champion buckle sponsor is Honor Energy Services. Also yesterday, Reese Huffaker, she also took home the senior showmanship, and Oakley Strong Cash, who we just saw, he took home the junior showmanship for your pigs. Also need to mention that Caleb Jones and Kai Baker from the steer show earlier, Caleb Jones took home the senior showmanship steer, and Kai Baker took home the junior showmanship steer. Now we won't know the top hand for the juniors and the seniors today. That will be awarded at the Buyers Dinner and Sale on Thursday. Your junior showmanship swine sponsor is R&H Custom Works, and your senior showmanship swine sponsor is the Carroll family. I believe the judge is getting ready to make his decision.
Good pair here at this heavyweight Hampshire deal. I think just two good individuals that, as they stand individually, I think they got great pieces and build, and as we say at the house, a lot of times not screwed up. I think they both they've got elite pieces to kind of work with and analyze. That makes it fun here, just individually before we play some of the young ladies all off to the side. This guy is one that's got a tremendous silhouette. Just as you watch him go, his range of motion and ability to reach and cover real estate. He feels his front track with his rear foot, and the ability to reach underneath the sheet and finish behind his tail end. I think is remarkable in terms of one that's big and stout, but at the same time, I don't know that we got him just dialed at 100%, like ready to go. I think when you asked a lot of him, that was going to be able to do kind of whatever you want him to do. But just individually, he cracks open at the top side of his leg, he maintains the spread, some loin edge, works all the way back into a long hip and rump. I think that's that extra length of hip and rump that allows him to reach, drive, and again finish behind the snail end. That thing's neat up to his front end, matches there in terms of length of front, length of hip,
So Reese Huffaker is now in a unique position. She has the class champion of the lightweight hamps and the heavyweight hamps. Zachary Gatos takes home second
Congratulations to our
place.
heavyweight camp. First place, Reese Huffaker, and second place, Zach Baker.
So she's in a unique position because her two pigs will show against each other for Grand Prix champion.
How does she personally handle that? She's going to hire somebody to show one of them?
Well, you'll be. This is where you hope that you have friends in the barn that will help you out. And I believe she does. She's got Miles Rodriguez showing the other hamp.
Let's put our hands together if you would for our hands exhibitors we've had this morning. Good group, good classes, and I want you to understand the quality is very good. These are good gigs, irregardless if they were third in class or one-year class. I think that there's a lot of value in each of these individuals. They all have got a place moving forward, whatever they'd like to do. As we compare two class winners out, I think, again, we talked about both class and where we like them. I think they're unique in terms of got a similar look. In terms of being really good up front, being sculpted through their draw, and ties into a good body, that's fresh and in the right place. They're sound, and I think you do a lot of things well. I think as you get over the top side of them and you study them there from the top of their cavity to the surface, I think they maintain integrity there. They're square-toed, their feet, legs, and go in the right direction. Congratulate the young lady here with her hip your champion. From there, I think the next one will be your second hand. You're going to keep them together.
So Reese Huffaker has your grand champion heavy Hampshire, and Zachary Gatos from the heavyweight class will also take home the reserve breed champion Hampshire.
Call Poland's to the holding ring.
So now we move on to the Polands. There are 4 pigs in this class. Miles Rodriguez, who we just saw, help out Reese Huffaker.
For our breed champion, Reese Huffaker, with her camp heavyweight, and Zach Gatos for being reserve breed champion with his heavyweight camp.
Miles Rodriguez has the lightest weighed Poland in this class at 197 pounds. Hunter Tanner has the heaviest weighed Poland in this class at 256 pounds. Now, you'll see later on, immediately following this class, you will see a breed pig called a Berkshire, or Berks. The difference between the Poland and the Berk, they're exactly similar. The difference is the Polands have floppy ears. Berks, their ears will stand straight up.
So there's just one heat of Poland's. Like a track meet, just one heat. Augie Menchaca, who's the president of the board this year, is doing his job of scooping, let's say, picking up the leftovers.
Coming out of the holding pens first is Miles Rodriguez with his Poland. Up next, coming out of the holding pen, is Hunter Tanner with his Poland. Looks like next in line is going to be Audrey Lee, then followed by Caden Wisenhunt.
From Poland, we have Miles Rodriguez, Audrey Lee, Hayden Wisenhunt, and Hunter Tanner.
Same procedure will follow, I believe, as it was with the Durocs to begin the Swan Show. The top two in this class will be the Grand and Reserve Breed champions of the Polands, with there being only 4 in this class. Before they, when I first started showing Jim, they would, you wouldn't know what some of these breed of pigs were until you actually got to the major shows, and they would actually sort it out by classes depending on what show you went to. So over there along the wall, right next to the wash racks, there's a little bulletin board that's up here. They would have it posted on what class you were in and everything like that. Well, these pigs, and then along with the Berks, they used to be classified as black OPBs, which is black other purebred. And then you see when we get to the Chesters and the Yorks, it was the same thing. You wouldn't know what breed of pig you were unless you actually looked on your sheet. But they would classify it as white OPBs, which is white other purebred. Which was crazy because then, at that time, Jen, you would have Polands and Berks showing against each other all in one class. They would group it all together instead of just separating them out by actual breeds like they do now.
Good group here in the black OPBs, or we're calling spot Poland class. I think you got a good group. Quality is deep out here, and I think all the individuals that have got a lot of quality too. And just individually speaking, I think that they can do some things, and some of them are maybe closer to the end point than others. But regardless, good on good. I like these things. Good to be able to. I think there's one that probably suits you the best. I think wins the class pretty handily. And when you think about design, build, balance, and get off the side, I think the proportion is right. When you get up coming at us and going away, I think the read was squareness and density, and then they hit the ground in a square, good manner, still have bone and flex and reach. Young man out here in the center will win your class. Congratulations to him. Very, very good. I thought that's an man style just in terms of his build and be able to build the flex and reach and go and still maintain continuous all the way to the ground, and he reads the same on high as he does at the surface. And that's a very, very good place to be. From there, I think we go to the next one. The young man right here in the center is going to be second. Reserve. Here's a good big center field. And I think when you get off the side of her, she's got a huge forehead. She's got a big flank. She's got a long hip. She opens up really, really well at the top side of her cavity. It gives you great shape. What we'd like to change her is just down her underneath. You go from the hop to the ground and from her arm to the surface. She's not as dense and featured there, but she is very, very good on the top side a good one to throw around. I love that big skip in his rear leg. Where we like to change him is right into his forehead. He's the flattest. He's the most closed up the top side of the skeleton. I think his silhouette reads good. He's long neck, he's long hips, and he does some good things. He's got a big old forearm working in. And I think he handles his front shoulder. A lot of these spots, they rock out, they get the elbow out, they get forward with the shoulder, they blow up front. I still think he's okay in that regard. We see him right away, get a little more punch right into his forehead and center, let him have some turn, and we build some more cage on the top side. Let's give a round of applause for good time.
Congratulations to Miles Rodriguez. He takes home.
At this time, we'll call the lightweight burst to the holding pin. Congratulations for Sholins to Miles Rodriguez, your free champion. Hunter Tanner, your reserve free champion. And third place, Audrey Lee. And fourth place, Kate Whistleman.
So once again, congratulations to Miles Rodriguez. He takes home your grand champion Poland. Hunter Tanner takes home your reserve champion Poland. Caden Wisenhunt Audrey Lee in third place, and Caden Wisenhunt in fourth. Next, we move on to the Burks. There are 3 classes of Burks. First up is your lightweight class with Hallie Guthrie, Thomas Gomez, and Charlie McLean. Hallie Guthrie has the lightest Burke of the 3 classes. Hers weighing in at 149 pounds. Charlie McLean has the heaviest Burke in this class at 173 pounds. Thomas Gomez is the first one to enter the ring. And this is Hallie Guthrie next.
In the Burke lightweight class, we have Hallie Guthrie, Thomas Gomez, and Charlie McLean.
And now getting the signal to come out of the holding pen is Charlie McLean.
At this time, we call medium weight Burks to the holding pin.
The medium weight Burks, excuse me, have just been called to the holding pen. see how, Jim, you notice how Hallie's pig, it kind of shines in the light a little bit on its hair. Well, it's not because it's sweating. It's because they sprayed it with stuff that they call the show shine, and you spray it in like a big pump bottle or a spray bottle. You spray it on your pig, and you brush it in, and it's to get its hair laid down so much to where when you profile the pig, it gives it a better look. So it's helped, especially on darker colored pigs. You can actually get a better profile of it when you're looking at it in the light.
Ah.
Now they'll use it on every animal, but it's more noticeable on these on your Hamps, Polands, and Berks.
You think the judges expect that?
Well,
Class, and certainly again, a lot of quality here. The ones we like and the ones I like are probably the ones that give us kind of a combination of the pair here. And I'll talk about them individually. The one we lead off with, I think, is the one that is the closest against the areas. This one is a shot for punch. When you go to the top of him, he's the one that I think he reads well to the side. When you kind of get him into a right speed and position. This one's got a neat look to it. He gives you enough length to him. He's got some shape and some muscle up high. He doesn't have the biggest hind leg maybe in the class, but that one reads up good. His inset's good. We just need to kind of find us some speed and cruise control with him and kind of make him easier to read. But that one looks like he's got a chance. He'll manage him from behind and just kind of keep his lower side in line and has let him elevate and grow and reach his end point without getting out of bounds. I think we like that one a good bit. And the other ladies pig here, this gill is one that is, you can take a lot of pigs and make them very, very good, improve a lot of pigs by making them with this silhouette, this design. That head and neck coming out the top side of the shoulder, has a typical user-friendly hind leg, and it has some bone, some feature with the flank that sets in right at the head level. She wins the profile contest, no doubt. It's when we get right in behind her, come right at us a little bit. That was just shot more immature, a little more closed up naturally, and we just need to have just a little more spread there. But in regards to that, is a very, very good individual. And congratulations to her. The one in third, I think, is similar in type. This one has got a good body. It's really neat up front. I like that with jawline being sculpted there. It ties in from the top side of the shoulder. That will give you some spread and some muscle up high. A little different when you get right behind it. Muscle kind of flares and comes out, and then her cavity, her rear tube will sit kind of up in on the underside of just a shape in. You just need to kind of give her a little more natural stretch and give her some hand where she can use it in that regard. But that's a good body, good center. Let's get the ball around the ball.
congratulations to Thomas Gomez. He's your class champion. Hallie Gomez is your class runner-up in second place. Charlie McLean takes home third. Now, well,
In our third lightweight class, congratulations to first place Thomas Gomez, second place Hallie Gomez, and third place Charlie McLean.
again, what you see on your screen is the Garza County Junior Livestock Association buyers, excuse me, buyers meal and sale. Statement is, we are excited to invite you to our upcoming GC Garza County Livestock Sale. All proceeds go to the youth of Garza County.
Winners for our medium weight third class are Cheyenne Atchison, Brinley Buchanan, Oakley Stark Cash, Allie Guthrie, and Daniel Carroll.
All proceeds go to the youth and their exhibitors. The meal will begin at 6 and the sale will begin at 7. Again, that takes place at Post High School. Now, to answer your question earlier, Jim, if the judge kind of expects it, at some shows, yes, it depends on how strict. I don't know necessarily if that goes into their selection process as to how you dress your animal, but in those spray bottles, sometimes there's show shine in them, but when we get to the Chesters and the Yorks, the literal white pigs, you'll see more water be in those bottles more than anything because of the skin of the Chesters and the Yorks. They overheat easy. And in environments like this, see, notice how the heaters aren't on?
Yeah.
It's to put less stress on the animal that's in the ring.
That's why I'm getting colder. Put my jacket on for a little bit.
And over there in the brown holding pens over across the way, the heaters are right there at the the two heaters are pointed down right at the pens. So that heat coming down is a lot of stress on the animal. So now with your medium Berks in this class, we have Cheyenne Atchison, Brinley Benham, Oakley Strawn Cash, Hallie Guthrie, and Daniel Carroll. So the top two from this class will also be held in the other two holding brown holding pens. As soon as that is over with, and they award,
Heavyweight Berks to the holding pen.
they'll award the class champion of the heavyweight Berks, and then we'll move right along to crowning a breed champion of the Berks in total. Also, because it's coming up, I want to recognize another one of our special guests. Judge Lee Norman is in attendance because he is your Pee Wee judge
He is.
for the Pee Wee Goat Show and the Pee Wee Pig Show.
Do you see him?
Yes, I believe I see him. That's him standing right there at the door to over my right shoulder, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. Judge Norman. Been announced he's going to serve his last year of his last term as county judge this year, 2026. What a dedicated man to this community he's been, and it will continue as well.
Like a good class here, and like these things are going to be in, and I think it's really close here at the top end, and then we got a cover that will play creates a sword at the bottom. So a good group. What we lead off with over here on the field line, I think, is a nice fella that does a lot. He's a buck Berkshire that's muscular. He's long hip. He's shapely. He's square on the top side of his body. I thought that one was proportional to the side. I think he's still good enough up to his jawline, and his length of neck is good. He's one that when you get on the top got good spread coming out of his blade. He's got it rolled up and fresh. As you come up on the top side of him and work back. I don't know if this one is just a shot more tendon. Looks like we're kind of pushing him, gassing him just a little bit to get more spread from behind. Therefore, he just got a little bit tendon there. As you get over the top of him and work to his cavity, he wants to flow with just a little bit on the bottom side of his cage there. So I think as you move it forward there, moving the right things and keeping the correct play, I think that one is very, very good. We got a chance to move down the road. Congratulations to him. The young lady in center and third, the blue shirt, the rear two thirds of this one are very good. That one's hip and hind leg are awfully good. Fresh and square up high. That gives you a great pin set and probably like this one, his rear view going away, maybe a shot better than the one in second because of just how he handles his stifle, his hip, and he reaches and ranges forward very well. I thought in the front third of this one, he gets just a shot more jammed up. He's not quite as good, not quite as extended in that regard, but that's a good pick. Again, I think we'll do a few things moving forward. That's going to be a very good one because he's bulky, square, and kind of fits the middle. From there, we have pairs that I thought were similar. And the young lady off to the side here, she's going to be fourth. I thought hers was a shot more muscular on the top side. This one gets just a little fatter, a little trailer in terms of bone work and features. Kind of wants to flow back up underneath himself, not only this way, but towards midline. The same can be said from where the painted one over here. Just keep the shot more bone and natural shape of muscle moving forward. Neat neck, neat hip. Let's give a round of applause. Good class.
Congratulations to Oakley Strong Cash. He is your class champion. Daniel Carroll, your class runner-up.
Congratulations for our medium weight first. First place, Oakley Strong Cash. Second place, Daniel Carroll. Third place, Cheyenne Atchison. Fourth place, Hallie Guthrie. And fifth place, Brentley Benham.
Once again, Cheyenne Atchison taking home third place. Hallie Guthrie takes home
At this time,
fourth.
we call our lightweight chesters to the holding table.
And Brentley Benham in fifth.
Our heavyweight first will be showing Zane Bell and Jaslyn Thompson.
And there's only two pigs in this heavyweight Burt class. Zane Bell and Jaslyn Sanchez. Zane Bell with the lightest pig in this class at 231 pounds. Jaslyn Sanchez, the heaviest Burke at 237 pounds.
Good class here at heavyweight Berkshires, and I think a good pair. Once we get them out and going and walking in long lines, we can kind of see, and they're easier to evaluate. The young lady in the center is going to win the class. And I think she's got one that's extended, he's tall shouldered, he's deep built at the side, he's long running, he's got a good stout skull, but at the same time, I think he's got a long neck and a good jawline. That one's got some bone and some feature. Got a good angle to his rear hock and ability to reach up underneath himself and finish his stride. That was linked to him. This
Congratulations to Jaslyn Sanchez. She's your class champion. Zane Bell is your class runner-up.
Congratulations in our heavyweight third class, Jasmine Sanchez for first place and Zane Bell for second.
So now, entering the ring, you'll have all your class champions, as they'll be going for Grand Prix champion. Also, at this time, I want to recognize some of the banners that you see hanging around the ring. In my far corner, you have Lenegar Electric Cooperative, HFNC, Garza County Animal Hospital, the Polka Lambro, the Post Stampede Rodeo, Black Gold, Rafter 3, and then probably one of the only rare times we can say these two sponsors on air, Brady's Package Store and the Wine House.
Yeah.
And also want to thank Texas Farm Bureau and Judge Lee and Marcia Norman and HP and HPS as well for sponsoring this and helping put this 60-second event together.
Your comment about those two sponsors we can't usually mention because when we do high school athletic broadcasts ruled by the UIL, they forbid us to do that.
Yeah, the UIL was already mad last year that the football state championships were broadcast on the FanDuel Sports Network. So last thing we need is them to contact some people in Post Texas for another public reprimand because we're mentioning people that sell liquor.
Yeah. This broadcast has nothing to do with the school district. Although we have two good school districts being represented, right?
Oh, yes.
Post and Southland.
Oh, yes. And it's speaking of, the Wine House and Brady's, it's nice to see Brady's banner hanging out here. Staple of the community, long time mom and pop store. And then what Michelle has done with the Wine House, it's awesome to see her banner back out here again for another year. So.
Speaking of which, Michelle from the White House is heading up the concession stand.
And I think the quality again is very good. That's really a good set of individuals who came and showed here today. They're in good shape. They're again, you say it time and time again, that a lot gets on them. They're not screwed up anywhere. They just have a good look to them. They got a good showing look. They've got most part, I think the feature is good. We'll say feature, we're talking about really tone and stoutness and the ground out there in the academy and the blade again. And then, they've got a good design as well. So that's kind of where we're at. I think as you turn back out, obviously, we're looking at our class winners and individually, we're not going to talk them all. I thought they were in a good spot. And, some of these, if they'll do the right things moving forward, they certainly got a chance to get the backdrop of a major show if that's what they choose to take the end. And so as we compare the group, Will, I think there's one that suits you the best in terms of just being the most complete. Have a good look off to the side, balanced and proportional, again being stout, being muscular, shapely, and maintaining the squareness and the surface. Gentlemen, green shirt over there. From there, as we compare the gentleman in the pink with his two contemporaries and with the other two classes, I think it's close. I think one of them probably has one of them in contention has got maybe a shot more angle up front and really is unique in some pieces and places, but maybe has a thing or two we'd like to change about that one. Maybe not as easy to view and analyze here. But when we come back and find our champion, we compare these two, we find the one that's next most like him. Gentlemen, pink shirt viewers.
Congratulations to Oakley Strong Cash. He is your grand champion, Burt, and Daniel Carroll takes home your reserve champion, Burt. Both coming from the medium weight class. Now we move on to our first of our three classes of the Chesters. There are two pigs in this.
Congratulations to the third class for the free champion
There are 2 pigs in this class.
Lightweight adjusters, we have Bryson Bloomingdale and Reese Huffaker.
It is Reese Huffaker and Bryson Bloomingdale.
Medium weight adjusters, make your way to the holding pen.
There are 2 in this class, and then there are 2 pigs in the medium weight, as well as 2 pigs in the heavyweight. See, Jim, already how red the 2 Chesters are already starting to get in the middle of the ring.
Getting overheated.
Good class of Chesters here. The young lady's going to lead off the class. I think she's got a very nice one here. I think off to the side, you see this little just range of motion off of either end are very good. Has big limbs, got a big forearm that goes to the surface with a big foot. That one's got a good rear hind leg. It's visible, user-friendly, and reaches up underneath his sheath and then finishes with the top behind his tail head. The length of hip that allows him to do that. That is a broad-ended big back foot. It's got a great look, his range of motion, and his flexibility with the spine. It's very, very good. She hoped that the head carriage is just about right in that one. His line to run uphill, but he still uses all of his limbs very well. His cage, his center body, I think, are good. Your question initially when you see him is where we at in terms of length of body. That one just looks like he fits well. If you go to the top side, I think everything comes together and stays together. On the top side of his blade, I think the center portion of his body, he maintains that width and dimension and spread, high end, high ceiling, big kind of individual. Congratulations to her. The one in second. The other man's on is very good. This one is sharp fronted. That one's got a big hip and got a really big pin set when you get behind him. And he too maintains some thickness and dimension on the top side. He's square along the groin edge. He gets a little more tough in his rib cage and the center portion of his body. But the biggest issue for me is you're supposed to get just a little bit rounder, steeper, shorter in his hip and rump. That allows him to kind of keep his feet and legs up underneath him a little bit and limits his range and their ability to range and reach and pull. Maybe is what we would term ideal, but a very good kind of big. Again, one of those that feel feet right, do right, stay soft enough, and we can maintain his integrity in terms of how he reaches and goes. I think that could be a very good individual for that young man moving forward. Congratulations to both these individuals.
Congratulations to Reese Huffaker. She's your class champion, and Bryson Bloomingdale is your class runner-up.
Congratulations with your first place lightweight adjuster is Reese Huffaker. Second place goes to Bryson Bloomingdale. Showing for the medium weight adjusters, we have Jackson Gatos and Audrey Lee.
Up next is your medium weight chesters
Lightweight adjusters, make your way to the holding pen.
with Jackson Gatos and Audrey Lee. One thing to mention, Jim, when you're washing these these pigs. You got to be real particular with what shampoo you use, or else if you use like a purple shampoo, it'll actually leave a purple stain in their hair. And depending on if the judge is picky or not, he'll actually say you can't show in this class.
Couple of nice things. Good round of applause. Couple of nice things here. Both of them got plenty of muscle and shape. Both of them are big-ended and got a good big pin snap from behind. And first had an ham and dimension muscle that ties in low toward the hop. Couple of 80 things off with one. It's got good shape. I think he maintains himself a little better. He's a little more tentative off the either end. I think he's acceptable out here in this setting. Congratulations to her. Good man's going to be second here for the Gillies. It's very similar. Really a big end point is giving lots of power from behind. We just need to kind of make this one shot more coordinated and comfortable today and build in kind of hinge and go and do the right things moving forward. Let's get both these guys running the ball.
Congratulations to Audrey Lee. She's your class champion. Jackson Gatos is your class runner-up. Now we move on to our final class of Chesters, which is a heavyweight class. There are 2 exhibitors in that class as well.
Congratulations to the medium-weight Chesters. In first place, we have Audrey Lee. Second place, Jackson Davis.
Audrey Lee.
Exhibitors for the heavyweight Chesters will be Audrey Lee and Ezekiel Puga.
Be Audrey Lee. She will return to the ring with her heavyweight Chester, and she will show alongside Ezekiel Puga.
Good class here, and don't get it around the ball if you would. Young lady picked over in the class. I think she's one that she's got the one that probably just a little stouter in his feature when you kind of read him off either end. He's one that's got a little bit of form, a little flatter form. He works into a little more shape and stoutness at the top side of the shoulder. He's got a big, deep center cut in the center of the body, and he maintains some squareness and build as he works back through off to the side. That would he's looking about length of hip.
Congratulations to Audrey Lee. She's your class champion. Ezekiel Puga is your class runner-up.
Congratulations to our first place heavyweight tester, Exhibitor Audrey Lee. Second place goes to Ezekiel Puga.
So now this is your championship drive of your Chester breed. All three class champions are in the ring, and just now entering the ring will be your class runner-ups. Or as I say that, the judge actually pulled in one class runner-up.
Hey, let's congratulate our exhibitors here at the division. Good grip, the quality's good here, and I think there's a handful that sort themselves up handily. And I think in this particular setting, once it can have some range of motion and reach and ride and handle their wheels on both ends, I think is vital and important. It is in any breed. In this particular setting, I think that really that's kind of mark number one. I think there's one out here that handles the atmosphere pretty well. We're just the ability to go off either end, the shape, the freshness, one that's getting hairy and shaggy, and those are, get into the details of what you kind of need to do down the road. Skin and hair on point. Congratulate the young lady here. From there, I think it kind of runs into, we have the second in that class, and we have the young lady who wins the last class, and of course we have a middleweight as well. I like the next best one probably being the heavyweight. I think that's the next one. It's got a shot going on, feature styles. Congratulations to her. That's what we're for.
Congratulations to Reese Hutfaker. She is your grand champion York. Audrey Lee, your reserve champion York, Chester.
Our breed champion Reese Huffaker with her lightweight tester, and our reserve breed champion Audrey Lee with her heavyweight tester.
Sorry, I was looking ahead to this next class, which is your Yorks.
At the holding pen.
So now we get set to start with the Yorkshire class. With the Yorkshire breed. There are 3 pigs in this class. This is the only class of Yorks. It's Miles Rodriguez, Zachary Gatos, and Daniel Carroll. So the top 2 in this class will be your grand and reserve breed champions. And then once we are done with the Yorks, we move on to our final class, down to our final breed before the Pee Wee Pig Show. And Jim, it might be tracking on for an early lunch. You don't know.
I
hope so. Once again, we'll be stopping the stream after this morning session. And after lunch, we'll resume the afternoon in a separate stream. So please come back and join us.
Once again, your exhibitors in this this only class of Yorks is Miles Rodriguez, Zachary Gatos, and Daniel Carroll. Miles Rodriguez is the lightest of the Yorks with his pig weighing in at 209 pounds. Daniel Carroll with the heaviest of the Yorks at 223 pounds.
Good class here, and pretty nice individuals in this short-term deal. And that's not always the case when you get into these county settings and so forth. But I think what we lead off with is he's got some big-time elite pieces, and one he's got bone and feature. He's got a great comfort level out here. He's one that he's got a stature up front that really cracks open at the top of a big arm, a big blade with the shape, dimension, and a good early rib that falls back and maintains that integrity all the way back into the square hip front. He's got a big hind leg that he's able to use. I think he's got enough spread in his rear toe. He's able to plant and drive and do a lot of things. He's got great hair and skin. Congratulations to that young man. The one here in second, the reserve champion. Oh, here's one that's a nice one as well. When he gets off the side, his advantage is his ability to really read his range of motion, ability to reach and drive off either end is very, very good. That one has got a good upper skeleton and cage. Starts at the top side of his blade and works back, and he's got a great loin edge with a big square hip and a good look to him when you just get on the top of him. Then he maintains that integrity all the way down to the surface. I don't think it's compared him to a breed chicken. He's not as quite as big as his foot, his snout, his feature really on either end, but his ability to go with the head there, moving forward, I think that's a very good pig that's got a high ceiling. The one in third here is awfully nice there. I think it's just his silhouette off to the sides, his advantage. That one's got a huge rib cage working in him, some depth and some balance when you look at his proportions. Length front, length of hip are very, very good. I think that one may have a little bit bigger blade and arm than the one we just described. When you get over the top of him, though, he's the most closed up, and the top side of his cavity, his rib cage, and his skeleton. We just want to expand him a little bit. He's got it maxed up. He's got shape there. We just need to have a little more natural strength and dimension coming out the top end of him there. He's a little more right leg driven today. He wants to plant the drive there. He's a little more tended on the track left. But I think it's a lot of those things. You've got this big smooth forward. It could be a very good big finish young man moves down the road into the backdrop. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to Miles Rodriguez. He's your Grand York champion.
Our York class, our breed champion, Miles Rodriguez. Our reserve breed champion, Zach Gatos, third place Daniel Carroll.
You got Miles Rodriguez has your Grand Prix champion of York.
This time we call lightweight cross to the holding pin.
Zachary Gatos is your class runner-up and your Grand Reserve Breed champion of the Yorks, and Daniel Carroll in third place. Up next is your crossbreeds. The final breed of pig that we have. These are the last three classes, starting with your lightweight class. In this class, there are 5.
Any kids in the barn that are wanting to do Pee-wee swine, if people come to the announcer stand with $5, and we'll get you signed up.
So, once again, up next, there are 5 pigs in this class. You have Cody Osborne. Miles Rodriguez has 2 pigs in this class, with Reese Huffaker and Bryson Bloomingdale.
I want to thank our sponsors that are bringing you the stream of the 2026 Garza County Junior Livestock Show. Today is Smokin' Dick's Barbecue, along with Flow Health and Fitness and Buffalo Creek Threads.
Sure, the lightweight crosses are entering the ring from the holding pen. Reese Huffaker's the first to enter. Looks like Cody is going to be next. Cody has the lightest weight of the crosses. Both him and Miles Rodriguez have the 2 lightest weight crosses. Both pigs weighed in at 149 pounds.
In the lightweight cross class, our keepers are Cody Osborne, Miles Rodriguez, Reese Huffaker, and Bryson Bloomingdale.
And then just skipping ahead, looks like Caden Wisenhunt will have the heaviest of the pigs shown today. His crossbred, when we get there, has weighed in at 282 pounds. Once we are done with the breed champion of the crosses, we will crown your grand champion and reserve champion pig. Then we will have the Pee-wee Pig Show.
And then lunch.
Yep.
We're not buying everybody's lunch today.
a little deeper in this class, and I think it's a fun one to look at. I'm sure inside you find the ones you like, and that's the fun part about it is pass the cup, drop a dollar, and talk about it, pick and see who kind of wins the deal. But this is a good fight. I think all 5 leagues are awfully good, and I'll kind of talk to them as we go and without placing them yet. But what I see here is just design and build and still being stout in their feature. I think each of the individuals all have a big rear leg. They all have a user-friendly skeleton that allows them to go. I think the angles are right in terms of where their shoulder lies and where their body allows them to kind of move and do the right things with some great design. The one in here probably that suits me the best is the one that he's the longest in his hip. He's stout in his feature. He's bold and square on the top side of his cavity. He still does it with a good jawline and has a stout feature there. It's still neat enough and has the ability to kind of progress to a higher weight. And I think maintain that extra balance and look. So proportional is what we're going to call him. I love his spin set from behind and the ability to just reach and rise and flex and go. When he comes right at us, is he the perfect square one right at the surface? Maybe he goes just a midline, just a shade. But I think he's a very, very good one. The other lady was right sweater with the class. Congratulations to her. In second, the one I think pushes him a great deal. And initially, I'm going to be honest, I think that is my favorite one because when he comes out, I thought he was the squarest and truest right at the surface and really genuine in terms of coming out with a big, strong shoulder blade, a big stout blade, with a fat forearm. He's got hair and shag and built really, really well. And just very simple. The square inch to his top side is awfully good. You too read with a stout jaw, but a neat head and neck that built in there very well. When I got off to the side of him, though, he's not quite as long as his upper hip. And if you watch him go, he wants to be just maybe a shot shorter there. Well, not bad. Individually, I like him plenty good. When we're comparing the two, I thought that's where he landed. Jim went over here is going to be second. But this thing, I thought that's where he was doing a good job. From there we go. We got a nice group out here that we're continuing third, and I like the blues. And our blue program is on the uptick and on the rise, and we're now about 3 of them shows that are going to take the blue segment. And I think that's going to be fun to watch as we go into February, March. But I think there's one out here that's got a great look. I thought he ran hard at the top end of the class, and again, maybe he makes the case. I love his skull and neck and head and his height and shoulder. I think are very, very good. I didn't read him maybe quite as cracked open in his forehead. He is just a little plainer there today, but he certainly looks like the one that can do a lot of things. I like his length of hip very well. His ability to drive. The young man here in the center of the pink shirt will be third. That's a high-end individual that then we have a pair here that I thought were good hawks. And maybe don't have the extra bells and whistles that we had with the top end, but not to take away from them. I thought the other blue one right out here was one that's a big center. He's bulky. I thought this one's flexibility and ability to go. He's square in his front toe and foot and angle of his knee. Maybe that is contemporary here. He's not as tricked out maybe up front in terms of his pole and head and neck. And we'd like to change that about him a little. A good pin set and a good big. Jim is going to round out our group here, and I don't want him to be kicking rocks as he goes back. He's got a good knee. That's a good hip behind the leg that really sets it square and ranges forward well. He's shapely. He's the greatest of the group that we have here. I think his biggest hole when he came into the class here was he's a flash up front and he wants to pigeonhole in a little bit. Like to square him up and just get a little more stature and strength there. But that's a good hit moving forward when he makes the marking ball weight. I think we'll like to get hit. Let's give all a round of applause for very good class.
Congratulations to Reese Faker. She's your class champion. Miles Rodriguez takes home second and third in the class.
Congratulations in our lightweight cross group. The first place winner was Reese Faker. Second place, Miles Rodriguez. Third place was also Miles Rodriguez. Fourth place was Bryson Bloomingdale. And fifth place was Cody Osborne.
Bryson Bloomingdale takes home fourth, and Cody takes home fifth in the class. Up next is your medium weight crosses.
In our medium weight cross class, we have Cody Osborne, Bryson Bloomingdale, Jackson Ayers,
There are 6 pigs in this class. Cody Osborne, Bryson Bloomingdale, Jackson Gatos, Hunter Tanner, Brindley Benham, and Oakley Strong Cash are the exhibitors in this class.
Russ, I noticed one of the pigs in this class over by that left gate. I think the exhibitor is Jackson Gatos. You watch, the animal is limping a little bit. Probably suffered a pulled hamstring. What do you think?
Maybe so. No, it looks like it's struggling to put any weight on that front left hoof.
Good class here, and presents some challenges. We've had to come out here, but I think it's a good day. It's what they might normally have at home. It starts up in this arena today, but the one we lead off with, I think, is one that is not one that's a wide, stout, broad one that gives you a lot of good when you get off to the side of that one. Length of hip, range of motion, I think, pretty good. She's practiced deep. She's a shot more moderate, maybe than what we might have used earlier today. Got some fresh back, dead level. Very good place to begin her class with. Congratulations to him. very uncomfortable initially. Now she's kind of gotten warmed up and going. I think with her hip, though, she wants to tuck her pins, kind of tuck it up as she goes away from us. We just want to square her up some. Part of that may be the extra step that we've got to her rear passion and her hop there a little bit. It seems like she's got to use the bathroom every time we get going, and that slows her down, and then she squats and tries to get going again. We just want to elevate her, give her more comfort there. Good pick, though, man. She's put together well. Skin and hair on point. Congratulations to that one. Let's give all these guys a round of applause.
For our medium weight cross class, Cody Osborne is first, Oakley Strong Cash is second, Bryson Bloomingdale is third, Hunter Tanner is fourth, Brendan Benham is fifth, and Jackson Gators is sixth.
Well, next now is our final class of our crosses. We have Jaslyn Sanchez,
Cross class, we have Jaslyn Sanchez, Sissy Duncan, Natalie Rodriguez, Lindy McCain, Katie Wisner.
once again that's Jaslyn Sanchez, Sissy Duncan, Natalie Rodriguez, Lindy McLean, and Kaden Wisenhunt. Jaslyn Sanchez, she's in a peculiar position because her pig broke free from the entrance of the holding pen right at the end of the middle class, and she tried her best to get it back in the holding pen, but the pig, once it's made up its mind it wants to be out here, you might as well just keep it out here.
She's hungry for lunch as well. Let's hurry things up a little bit.
Good class, and one we lead off with, the young man Nelson over here is a nice hog. I think one that get off the side, I think strong shoulder, he's square in his hip, and he's long in his hip and rump, and providing reward. The young lady's Delta will be third. A good design, good package. She gets this one elevated, gets it going. That one's silhouette, reads well, and has a good design and build. Both coming and going, we just need a little more width and spread. Get on the top end there. We're a little more closed up, and therefore we don't have quite as much dimension loss on the shape. Same can be said here for the young ladies who come in fourth and fifth. Just makes it just need a little more time on the feet, need a little more shape, and then the shot the ball. Let's get around with the ball.
For our heavyweight crosses, we have Kate Zimmerman in first, Jasmine Sanchez in second, Natalie Rodriguez in third, Sissy Duncan in fourth place, and Lindy McClain in fifth.
So now, entering the ring is all your breed champions. So now we're at the point where we're at the championship drive for our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Pig. Just remind everybody, the Grand Champion Buckle is sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau, and the Reserve Grand Champion Buckle is sponsored by Honor Energy Services. Once we crown a Grand and Reserve Grand Champion, we'll have the Pee Wee Pig Show. And then everybody will hi-yah on out of here to go to lunch. And we believe, after the lunch break, we should get back going again right around 2 o'clock, or whenever the judge gets done eating his lunch.
Hey, join me in congratulating the cross-training exhibitors. Have a good show. Let's put it together for all of them. Some of the classes were, obviously very, very good, and some of them were maybe a little more top-heavy, but irregardless of how they came in and competed, maxed out with their projects and what they had. So, as we landed on these class winners, again, pleased with the group, knowing all they had in those particular settings. There's one out here that suits you very well, just in terms of stoutness of feature and ability to cover real estate out here in a good manner and maintain. Once he's got it up, he just goes and does a lot of things really well. Went to first class and he went across, right?
So Reese Huffaker is your Grand Champion cross. So you can tell I'm getting hungry. I had my order of operations backwards. We got to crown a Reserve Champion cross before we move on to anything else.
Gentleman comes in with the second in that class. We talked him for just time there initially, and I think this one is big time lead in terms of just his build and look. His silhouette is so good. Height of shoulder, height of hip, length of body is perfect, and he's got big limbs. He squares up really well. Very good team. He's very good letters. He's the second best one in this cross.
And congratulations to Miles Rodriguez, as he is your Reserve Grand Champion cross shower. And now they'll call all your Grand Breed champions back to the ring to crown a Grand Champion Pig.
Please bring all reserve breed to the spot, to the holder. Our breed champion for the cross breed
Let's take this time to let you know that we'll be doing another basketball broadcast. It's a doubleheader coming up on Tuesday at the Antelope Arena. So we do recommend you come out to the arena. If you can't make it or just want to watch a game later, you can do so on our YouTube page as Rawls comes to town on Tuesday. The pregame at 6, girls tip about 6:15, and the boys will follow. So please join us for that. It'll be Russ and Carter, and I'll be on camera.
Now would be a perfect time to ask everybody, if you haven't done so already, please like. If you enjoy what we do, please give us a like, a share, and a subscribe.
Yes, definitely.
Dang. Yeah, so these are all of the reserve breed champions that are in the brown holding pens now.
Again, thank you to our streaming sponsors, Buffalo Creek Threads, Flow Health and Fitness, and of course, Smokin' Dick's Barbecue, one of the best around. Saw Dickie and Shelly here, as a matter of fact. And Jen Strawn from Flow is here. I believe can't think of her name right now, I'm sorry. Miss Hadaway, who's the owner and operator of Buffalo Creek Threads. She's at a show in Dallas.
And Dickie and Shelly, they're here in support of Hallie. Of course, Jen, she's here in support of Oakley.
Right.
Now, you talk about an athlete. Oakley is
that right? Yeah. Quarterback, right?
quarterback. He is fun to watch.
Does he play round ball too? Is he playing?
That's a great question.
Junior high, right?
Mm-hmm. 7th grade. Just remind everybody, across the way in the brown holding pens is your is your reserve breed champions. In the holding pen to enter the ring are your grand breed champions from earlier. At the conclusion of crowning a grand and reserve grand champion swan, we will have the Pee Wee Pig Show. Speaking of Oakley, he's the first one to enter the ring.
This is our champion nurturer, Oakley Strong Patch. Our champion drop is also Oakley Strong Patch.
I think Oakley's going to have like maybe 2 or 3 compete against one another, just like what Reese Huffaker's about to have as well.
champion cross, Reese Cupmaker. One more round of applause for all of our green champions flying.
Hey, I'll shut it down real quick. I got to stretch it in real fast. Hey, just want to, as we kind of get ready to get us a champion here real quick, I wanted to make a couple of comments. Hey, number one, you had a great show. And I think if you ringside, if you're new to this, looking at ringside, that's a good group of livestock. That's a good group of exhibitors that are out here with them. These things they're in good shape. They're in good condition. They've got muscular shape and look to the top, but they're all athletic in their ability to be able to use their arms and legs and be able to go. You hope that they hinge in the right direction moving forward, and the elite ones can do it. They can reach up underneath themselves, they can fill a track, and they can just stay comfortable out here. And that's elite. And that's what we want to try to create, is the ones that you can put some product in them, you can build them as stout as you make them, and still allow them to be athletes and go and have some durability and be able to withstand the drive if need be. You've got a great show here. You've got a great county. No doubt about it, but there'll be a lot of these at the surface and take big pictures at the big shows at the end point of their career or end point of their life, the bigs I speak of. And so I wish you the best of luck in that regard. You've had a nice big show across the board. So all your handlers and folks and your ag teachers and county agents and so forth, these kids, make sure you tell them thank you. Two things I'm always going to say: kids, make sure you thank your parents and your loved ones who tend to you and give you the ability to do this. This is not a cheap endeavor. It's expensive to do. It costs something to do, and in today's world, we can use money to do a lot of other different things besides this. But they choose to do that to you to allow to raise you with a livestock project. We think that's vitally important. Obviously, I've done this for my whole life, taught 30 years, and I'm the biggest proponent for this very arena and getting to do what we do. And then the last thing is parents and folks who you're responsible for these kids. Give them a hug at the end of the day and tell them you're proud of them, because I promise you that when the kid came through here, they didn't want to win. And they want to compete, they want to win as bad as anybody. I promise you. They may not have had a great day today in doing that, but I promise you that there was not lack of effort, there wasn't lack of desire. So give them a hug and tell them you're proud of them, and then y'all move forward. And then last thing is, your pigs, most of you, your season at the end of the day, when you get home, keep them healthy, keep them thinking, keep going on the track that you need to be going on, whatever that's been like, or make your adjustments. But keep those things moving forward, because you got some good animals, you got some good stock, and the real challenge is can we get them to their end point where they're at 12 o'clock. And so in most cases, pigs are going to look very, very good at one point in time in their life. And what I'm trying to do today is not trying to find the ones that are just all maxed out and ready to roll today, but the ones that are within striking distance today, but we can project and try to get to where we want to get at the end of the day. So that said, have a good show. across the board, not going to talk individually, but I was pleased with most every breed in terms of what we had to work with. I think, again, you've got some high ceilings in this arena here, and my challenge to you is just try to reach that goal and reach that ceiling. So, good set here. Congratulate the young lady here with the champion.
Congratulations to Reese Huffaker. She is your grand champion swine winner. Belt buckle sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau. And now she moves on to show our other class champion that she has. She's going to show her.
So she's got a chance to be reserve as well, huh?
Yes, she does.
Well, she's pretty much cleaned up today, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Her and Oakley strong as far as your grand and reserve breeds go and class champions go.
We bring that second, or excuse me, that reserve cross in there. The young man's got the center, the vacant one, and another one I thought was very, very good. And again, just does so many things well. Neat running, square head, square back, shaggy, but good in the center of his body. The spread, but still has done to his rib cage, and I think his integrity at the surface is awfully good. And we comparing back to the Yorkshire is so unique. In a lot of different ways, and he's big backed and broad-shouldered and broad-featured, and he's broad-ended. When I say broad, I'm not talking about they're wide. I'm talking about he's just out and wide and square like we want to be. He's still got a lot of punch to him. The Chester thing is so unique, and one that makes it a lot of fun to see how that thing lands moving forward. And we can go around the mix. There's a good amount of good picks here. I think the next best one, though, compared to our champion, I thought they were in the same class.
Congratulations to Miles Rodriguez, as he is your reserve grand champion swine winner. That belt buckle is sponsored by Honor Energy Service. So now we'll clear the ring, clear the holding pins, and we'll get started with the Pee Wee Pig Show. As we mentioned earlier, your judge is none other than Judge Lee Norman. Be the judge for the Pee Wee Pig Show.
Congratulations to our grand champion for the swine division, Reese Huffaker with her cross, and our reserve grand champion, Miles Rodriguez with his cross.
As that is worth noting, they were both class champion and class runner-up from the exact same class.
At this time, we're calling all Pee Wee swine exhibitors to the ring.
Of course, after the Pee Wee Swines, it's lunchtime. So once again, we will stop the stream for a lunch break and come back with stream number 2 for the afternoon, probably around 2 o'clock. So if they subscribe to us and we go live, they'll get notified, right?
Yes, they will.
So subscribe to Post Sports Radio's YouTube page, and then when we come back on, you'll get a notification. Again, we'll take a look at what's coming up on Thursday. Is the buyer's meal and sale. It's the 15th, post high school. 6 o'clock is the meal, 7 o'clock is the sale.
So far, this first part of the stream, Jim, was just checking our analytics, and we had So far before noon, we've had over 181 views.
All right. And what happens with our streams is that since they're available at any time, after the stream, you can watch at your leisure, on demand, as they say. And that usually, boy, the numbers go up a lot from the initial viewing, the live viewing.
Just to remind everybody that the exhibitors in the ring, they're not done yet. As on your screen is the date for the Garza County Junior Livestock Association buyers meal and sale. As following the conclusion of the events today, they will get they have a chance to get a check and get some money for their services. As that will take place Thursday, January 15th at the Post High School at 307 West 4th. The meal will begin at 6 o'clock and the sale will begin at 7.
One thing that's unclear is whether it's at the high school cafeteria, which I think it usually is or has been, or it could be at the Commons.
I think the last couple of years it's been at the Commons, I believe.
Which is at the high school, and that's what it says,
Yes.
the high school, right? Okay. It'll probably be at the Commons.
So basically, Gillen's having to come out of retirement and participate in the Pee Wee Pig Show.
Yeah, she's carrying her exhibitor, or the exhibitor. Once again, Judge Norman is the official judge for the Pee Wee Swines.
Rolling in there is Reese Huffaker and Miles Rodriguez and Daniel Carroll and Natalie Rodriguez and Audrey Lee. And there's a couple of more coming in through the holding pen as well.
Of course, if you're ever going to be in the judge's court, it's better to be here on the sawdust than it would be in the county court of law up at the courthouse.
Yeah.
Judge Norman. It'd be safe to guess that Judge Lee Norman was also participated in stock shows as a high school kid, which was before electricity. Just kidding. Don't tell him I said that.
The trophies, they're a little bit unique this year, the trophies that they hand out. Used to, the trophies that I had when I participated in, when I was, believe it or not, little bitty, I had the trophies in my room of being in the Pee Wee Goat Show, and it was just like an actual trophy with like a goat on it.
Is that right?
Yeah, they had them specially made and everything like that. And now they've seemed like they've upgraded to actual award-style trophies on them. So it's like the style of trophies that you would see hand out at like an academic banquet.
Well, it's definitely a good education for these kids. Getting introduced to the stock show world.
Especially if you're right around that age, you know, because unless the rules have changed, you can start the earliest I believe you can actually start stock showing without having to be a part of a Pee Wee show is like you're in 3rd grade. My little brother and I, that's how we did it. We started showing, and
If you would, let's give a round of applause to all of our juniors. Pee-wee children came in and their helpers and their patients, but just going to get me introduced to this thing a little bit. And anyway, that's a good deal. I have some awards here. Anyway, they all got a nice trophy and good memento for this occasion. So one more time, round of applause for that and for the show and folks with us on.
yeah, it's a good. Just to put a bow on that conversation, it's just a good opportunity to see if your child has an interest in wanting to do this and go forth with it. And if they do, I highly recommend you stick with it. This is a great test to develop work ethic, character, and hard work and actual time management skills. So
All right.
we're just waiting on the official announcement from Crystal to say how long this lunch break is
Okay.
and when we come back.
Well, you be listening for that. In the meantime, so speaking of lunch, let's talk about Smokin' Dick's Barbecue. At Smokin' Dick's Barbecue, they pride themselves on the rich history of serving authentic Texas barbecue. And that passion for great barbecue drives them to use only the finest meats and smoking woods in every dish created. Smokin' Dick's Barbecue is serving Monday through Friday from 11 to 6 or until they sell out, which happens a lot. And if you have any questions about catering, want to do that, or for an upcoming event, give them a call at 806-543-3767. You can follow Smokin' Dick's Barbecue on Facebook, and Smokin' Dick's Barbecue is just a half a block west of Highway 84. That's at 114, that's 114 West 4th Street in Post, Texas. So give them a try if you haven't already. If you already have been there, get back there as soon as you can. Unfortunately, not open today, just Monday through Friday.
All right, we're going to take a break until 2 o'clock, and that allows time for our lamb and goat exhibitors to get ready for their show this afternoon. My steer and swine exhibitors, if you want to make your way to the backdrop for any pictures with our photographer. Thank you.
Okay, that's from Crystal Osborne, organizer of this event. So for Russ Morris and Jim Plummer, that's going to be the end of the morning session. Again, we're back close to 2 o'clock. So please come back then. Again, if you subscribe to us on YouTube, you'll get a notification when we start streaming again. All right, Russ, anything else to say before we leave this morning?
Let's go eat.
Here we go.